So it's time for a new sewing machine. I hope you'll find this information helpful because these are some of the issues I have heard and helped with during my 15 years of selling sewing machines. I have sold several brands: Brother, Babylock, Janome, pfaff, Husqvarna Viking, Juki, and a few others. One thing I do know is that most people who come to purchase a machine really don't know the questions to ask the salesperson. As a salesperson, I was taught what kind of questions to ask the customer to help me guide to know where to start in the sewing machine lineup. However, I am always aware that because the customer might not know what they want, they might not get what they are desiring for their sewing experience. It is my hope that if you are looking to purchase a new machine in the near future, you will first watch this video, then second, do some research of your own before you venture out into the sewing machine sales world. Typically, we become loyal to a brand of machines. That's great. However, there are many new quilters and sewists out there that might not have a clue where to start or even what features they are looking for on a machine. We will be breaking this discussion into 3 parts. If you already think you know what type of machine you are looking for, please feel free to check the timestamps in the notes and skip to the section that discusses the type of machine you think you're looking for. I'm putting a disclaimer on this video right now. Please, please, please purchase your new sewing machine from a reputable dealer and not from a big box store. Why? You will get great expert guidance on how to use the machine. Even if you think you know how to thread a sewing machine, there might be some new trick or something special with the brand of machine you want to purchase that you won't learn correctly and can cause you much frustration if you're trying to figure things out on your own. Ask me how I know. I have assisted so many customers who purchased a machine this way, then had problems and had to go to the dealer. The dealer isn't obligated to you very much because you didn't purchase the machine from them. However, if they are after good business, they will repair the issue if necessary, but charge you a fee to learn how to use the machine. If you had purchased the machine from the dealer in the first place, a user's class would be available at no charge and for as many times as you need to take it to learn your machine. I realize there are many sewists out there who have purchased from a big box store. I say that's great. Keep on sewing and enjoying your craft. A few terms to be aware of when you're out shopping for a new machine are these. Refurbished. What does that mean? As it was explained to me when I sold refurbished machines, it was a machine that was sold at a big box store that the owner returned for some reason. It could have been they just didn't figure out how they could use it. They wanted a different model, or they had some kind of issues. As I said earlier, a big box store cannot help you with anything regarding your new machine. So that machine goes back to the manufacturer and they go through the machine and get it back to factory standards. It is no longer a new machine, but is now refurbished. Classroom model. These are great machines to purchase at a lower price than a new machine. These machines are actually used by dealers in manufacturer events or dealer events. They have been sewn on and used for these events. Many times, if you attend an event at a dealer, you are sewing on a machine that has traveled around from dealer to dealer. They are packed very well, so don't let the traveling around concern you. They are fully warranted machines. Because the machines have been used at events, you get better prices. A dealer event is a great way to purchase an expensive, top-of-the-line machine without spending top-of-the-line money. You might also get special event bundles that will include specialty accessories or notions for the machine, like specialty feet, specialty attachments, threads, ribbons, etc. Sometimes a dealer will decide to keep a few of these machines after an event and sell them at a discounted price. It is still a great time to purchase one even if you don't get all of the bundle deals, those accessories, etc. Because the dealer knows it is a working machine without any issues, you get a good price. Floor model. This is the machine that the dealer has on their floor to demonstrate with. Sometimes a great deal can be had by purchasing a floor model machine. If the dealer turns their inventory over quickly, they might not be open to negotiating much because the machine is very new with very few sewing hours on it. If the machine has been on the floor for a long time, then the dealer is more apt to give you the best price he can because he needs to move that machine to get a new model on the floor. Ask the dealer how long the machine has been on the floor. Be sure to have them inventory all of the accessories in front of you so you can see that no items are missing. One more term I want to discuss is tension, because each classification of machine adjusts the tension of the machine stitches. Tension is the tightness or looseness of the needle thread and the bobbin thread together. When either one is not adjusted correctly, you'll have skipped stitches, broken threads, loopy threads, and frustration. Keep that in mind as we talk about the different types of machines and how the different types of machines adjust tension for that machine. That said, let's move on to how to know what you want and how to talk to the salesperson at the sewing machine store. Let's start with the 3 types of machines that are available to the home sewer. Another disclaimer, I love pfaff sewing machines and I own 2 different ones. I will be explaining each type of machine on a pfaff because I work for a pfaff dealer and own pfaff machines. That doesn't mean I don't think the other brands are also good brands. I suggest you do some research after watching my videos to decide what features you are looking for and what brand of machine fits you best. I also suggest you visit different dealers to test drive the machines before you purchase. That being said, let's get on with the types of machines to shop for. First, mechanical. These machines have very few features on them. You select your stitches by turning a knob or maybe pushing a button. They seldom have an automatic needle threader and the tensions are manually adjusted. These machines are a great place to start a beginning sewer if you don't want to invest too much money. Usually these machines cost a couple of $100s. They are small and are quite light in weight. There are no fancy features on these machines such as automatic needle threaders, automatic tension adjustments, or even very many accessory feet. There are also very few stitches to select from. Depending on the brand and model you choose will determine the accessories and the exact number of stitches for the machine. You're quite limited to the stitch width that is available on a mechanical machine. Generally, this is about 4 millimeters to 6 millimeters wide. Today I am showing you the Smarter 160 by pfaff. This little machine does have an integrated needle threader that really helps thread the needle if you have trouble seeing the needle's eye. When shopping for a mechanical machine, you will want to make sure it has a free arm sewing table for sewing projects that require sewing around, like a sleeve or a cuff. A clear bobbin cover that allows you to see when the bobbin is running low is also very helpful. Most of the included presser feet will be a standard or zigzag foot, buttonhole foot, a zipper foot, and depending on the manufacturer, there might be 1 or 2 more specialty feet included, such as a blind hem foot and a foot for sewing on buttons. Each foot should be demonstrated as to its function, ease of changing, and how it benefits you. Be sure to sit down at the machine with the salesperson and have them show you the features on the machine you are looking at. There should be a few extra bobbins, but not many, so ask the salesperson if he can include an extra package of bobbins at no charge. There should also be an assortment of needles included. You will definitely want to add some extra needles to your purchase. Don't leave the store without a good selection of needles that fit the style of sewing you do. Next up are the electronic machines. These little gems are a little bit more expensive than the mechanical machines because they have more features that will make your sewing experience more fun. As you move up the model sequences, you will also pay more for each step up. An electronic machine usually has buttons instead of dials to select your stitch, your tension, and your needle position. Some might even have a small touch screen. You get a lot more stitch options, so your creativity has just increased. The one-step buttonhole options on these machines actually make making buttonholes a lot easier and more uniform. In fact, the first time I saw the one-step buttonhole demonstrated, I knew if I had had a machine that did that, I might still be sewing garments. Maybe not. There are still issues with zippers. These are great lightweight machines that are perfect to take to retreats and classes. All of the features from the mechanical machine should be on the basic electronic machine. You will have more needle position options to help you get that elusive scant 1/4 inch seam that quilters are searching for. I've already mentioned the one-step buttonhole. There are more stitches available on electronic machines too. This makes stitch selection more fun and more creative. Don't get confused with decorative stitches being embroidery stitches. They're not the same thing. Decorative stitches allow you to add your own personal touch to many items, including ready-made shirts and tops. There are also more needle positions on an electronic machine to help you with accuracy and consistency. The stitch field on these machines can be anywhere from 4 millimeters to 7 millimeters wide. You might find the tension might be a bit easier to adjust with the push of a button instead of the turn of a dial on a mechanical machine. There are a lot more tension setting options with the push of a button to get the exact tension you need. Remember, the tension is the balance between needle thread and bobbin thread. A speed control option is very helpful because you set the speed at which you are most comfortable sewing, and the machine will not go faster than the speed you set, no matter how hard you push that foot control. Mechanical machines, by contrast, use a foot control that works more like the gas pedal on a car, and it's easy to get going faster with your feet than you want to with your hands. When you get into the electronic machines on the pfaff, you get the built-in walking foot, or IDT. That's the integrated dual technology. That is the little arm that is behind the needle and engages with the presser foot. There are little teeth on the bottom that line up with the center feed dog. This keeps your top fabric being drawn under the presser foot at the same rate the feed dogs are pulling the bottom fabric through. No uneven edges. This was such a game changer for me when I sewed on my first pfaff that it became the gold standard for me. This technology is now available on other brands, but mostly on the top of the line machines. You will still need to purchase a walking foot to achieve the even feeding of your fabric through your machine that the IDT system on the pfaff machines accomplishes. Again, sit down and sew on the machine after the salesperson does their demo and explains the features. Computerized machines. Computerized machines are really an investment, and something to consider is your skill level and desire to spend more time at your machine. Computerized machines include sewing machines, embroidery only, and sewing embroidery combinations. As you move up the model sequences, you will also pay more for each step up because the features, quantity of stitches, and the size of the machine head add to the cost of the machine. Pay attention to the sewing area to the right of the needle. This could be important to you if you do your own quilting on a home sewing machine. There are models that have over 12 inches of sewing and quilting space to the right of the needle, and that are extra tall to allow for more fabric bulk to move through the space. A computerized machine should have a bobbin sensor to alert you when your bobbin is running low. You will have more bobbins included in the more expensive machines, but here again, ask for an extra pack to be thrown in for good measure. The different stitches are set at factory suggestions for a consistent tension and stitch result. Most of the time you won't even need to adjust your tension because of specific tension programs that are built into the machine. Each brand has specific tension programming to assist with automatic tensions. However, feel free to adjust the tension if you are sewing on a heavy or lightweight fabric. The screen on your machine will start to give you a lot more information about your machine and what is required to get the perfect stitch. For example, you will see the type of presser foot suggested for the stitch selected. The tensions and stitch length will automatically be set. You might have a picture of something that looks like paper on your screen. This would be that the stitch selected looks best when stitched out with a stabilizer on the back, also known as pellon or an embroidery type of stabilizer. You will see on your screen the needle position and the stitch length in actual size to help you determine if that is where you want to sew on your machine. Most top-of-the-line computerized machines have a touch screen, many the size of a tablet, that allow you to preview the stitch, the needle position, and so much more. There are many more decorative and specialty stitches and techniques on computerized machines that many people don't ever utilize. I suggest making a stitch book to help you know what the stitches and techniques look like. This will help you in deciding your decorative additions to your projects. Many brands feature a hover foot when you have your needle in the down position. This means the needle will stay down and lock the fabric in place while the presser foot hovers just a bit. This is ideal for machine applique, sewing, and turning on seams or a quilt binding, etc. There might not be a presser foot lever on a computerized machine, as this is controlled with the press of a button or the actual stepping on the foot control. A knee lift might also be available on your machine and is a very valuable tool to many people. Another fun thing about a computerized machine is that you can save your favorite stitch to your machine so you don't have to remember the stitch length or the needle position. With this program, you can also combine stitches to create your own decorative stitch. Most computerized machines have alphabet fonts that will allow you to create stitch combinations with names for a fun, personal touch. This is fun for creating a quilt label or many other things. The alphabets in the sewing function stitches are different from the fonts in the embroidery function. Again, don't confuse decorative stitches with machine embroidery. If you have a sewing embroidery machine, you might even be able to use your sewing and decorative stitches in your embroidery function and create some really spectacular projects. Many computerized machines have lasers to help you line up your fabrics without marking the sewing lines, which saves you time. They will have specialty stitches and techniques that are unique to each brand. For example, a Husqvarna Viking top-of-the-line machine has a sequin stitch that allows you to sew sequins onto a project by machine instead of by hand. Some have cameras to help you see exactly where you are going to embroider or sew on your next project. Visit the website of the brand you are wanting to purchase. Go ahead and look at other brands and check out the options available. Most brand websites will not have prices available because they want you to visit the dealer. That is where having some knowledge of what you want will help. Some dealers do trade-in machines and will reduce the MSRP, that's the manufacturer's suggested retail price. A smaller dealer might not be able to offer a trade-in option, but let me share this little secret. Most of the time, you can get a better price for your used machine if you sell it yourself rather than take that money off the MSRP from the dealer. The dealer can still negotiate a better price because there is room within the MSRP and the MAP, that's minimum advertised price. Keep that in mind when you ask for the trade-in value of your machine. Always ask about that before you negotiate your price. Find out what your model of machine is currently selling for on eBay or in the local want ads. Then you are better prepared to negotiate a price you are comfortable with. During certain times of the year, like holiday seasons, there are many bundles that the dealer can offer through the manufacturer. These bundles are advertised on the manufacturer's websites, and if you sign up for a newsletter from the manufacturer, they come to your inbox and you can see what is included with the purchase of your new machine. The bundle can be a number of things like accessories, trolleys, notions, shopping sprees for the products that work with the machine, etc. Many dealers might offer you gift cards to help you purchase some of those extra things that you might want but might not be available to afford, like embroidery thread selections, embroidery stabilizers, etc. In the end, please sit down at the machine you think you would like. Hopefully the salesperson will show you the benefits of the machine and what it will do to help you have a pleasant sewing experience. If you stay within a brand of machine, make sure your presser feet transfer to the new machine. Sometimes the stitch field on the top of the line machines can be up to 9 millimeters wide, and a 7 millimeter foot will not work as well. Ask about the bobbins that are used in the new machine. If you are upgrading, chances are all of those old bobbins will need to be donated or discarded because the new bobbins are larger and hold more thread. Make sure you sign up for and schedule any user classes that the dealer offers so you understand the new machine. Don't assume because you know how to sew that you know how the machine you purchased works. There are many little tricks for each machine. I'm very serious about this one. No matter what brand or machine you purchase, make sure that the dealer fills out the warranty card and explains the warranty before you leave the shop. The dealer also needs to let the manufacturer know what serial number has just been sold and whose name it goes under. In case you have warranty work done, this record is very important. You will also need to go home and register your machine with the manufacturer. This sometimes requires a copy of the sales receipt. Make sure you keep a file folder with all of this information for easy access if you need it. Again, I also recommend setting a date on your calendar to have your machine serviced within the first year of owning it. This service is usually covered by your warranty and should not cost you any money. Hint, if you set your service date on the date you purchase the machine, you will not forget. Continue to get your machine serviced annually to keep the machine running smoothly and you sewing happily. Good luck shopping and test driving your new machine. Happy stitching!